I need to straighten up this area here. I need to straighten it up. It's a shambles. It's a mess. My books are everywhere. Everything's not together. And I've been like buying books, more books than I usually buy. Like I probably buy books like once a year usually, but lately I've went book shopping twice within the past like 6 months. So that's a lot for me. But either way, this is a shambles. So I need it to make some sense. And so my life can make sense and I will feel better about it. So that's what we're going to do. It is currently the end of July and I'm not going to pick a TBR for August. So this is going to be kind of in the lieu of my TBR because one, I have a library books here that I haven't read yet and that I have to return soon. In August, I'm going on vacation. So I am going to get a lot more reading done in that month, but I also want to know what I have and like what I want to prioritize for reading. And this past month in July, I picked a TBR of 10 books and I read 4 of them. So far, like I said, I have those. Is there one full week left? Oh, there's like a week and a half left in July. So I have time. But also, like I said, I have books here that I want to read. So I'm going to organize. The main thing is this is the only bookshelf that I have. If you don't know, I'm a minimalist. You'd be like, girl, this is it. Yeah, this is it. This is it, babes. This is it. I'm a minimalist. I'm thinking about getting a cart, like one of those carts that they use for a TBR cart, but I don't intend to fill it up with books. I just have a cart. I have another cart in my room over there that I use to like store things on and I love it. So if I do that, I'll be using like one shelf maybe for books and then other shelves for something else. But for now, I need to really situate what I have going on here and make sure it's together, appropriate, looks good, because this looks a shambles. I got a bag over here for no reason at this point. This bag is sitting here. I gotta get my life together. So, and like I said, I go on vacation soon. I go on vacation in approximately 2.5 weeks. That's soon for me. So I also need to make a list for my vacation and I need to clean my room and declutter my room. So this is that's part of what I do normally anyway, regardless. But in the midst of that, I'm going to get my bookshelf together. And that is what this video is about. So, like I said, I have library books here as well. Well, my bookshelf, oh, sorry, excuse my nose ring. Probably looking like a booger. My apologies. I have library books here as well that I need to separate. I've noticed that when I put my library books on my shelf, I tend to not read them even more than normal. So that's not good because that's the point of going to the library so I can get the books that I don't want to buy because I want to see if I want to buy them or if I want to, have them in my collection type thing. So I have to read the books. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. And then I also want my shelf to be aesthetically pleasing. So I want to make my shelf to be color coded. So, and I love the color coded look of when you have the shelves and it's like a gradient color from in white and then it goes, I think it's I don't know if people do rainbow because to me that's gradient color is rainbow, but at the same time it's rainbow. It's not really gradient color. So I guess it can't really be gradient because how would you go from red to blue? You know what I'm saying? So we're just going to go with rainbow. We're going to go with rainbow shells. That's what we're going to go with. And then I also have a large collection of cookbooks as well as books that I read, reading, fiction, fantasy, romance, and all that. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take the stuff down. I'm going to do this in parts. I'm probably going to take down the library books first and put them where I want to put them, which is actually right here in this corner is what I intend to do with them. They're going to be stored right on top of this thing here because that just makes the most sense to me. So I'm going to put all my library books here and then I'm going to do my cookbook side, which is actually this side first, and then I'll do the books side second. So yeah, I'm going to get started. top shelf there, I have basically like all my nonfiction books. I also have my Bibles, like literally this is like one of my childhood Bibles and like a travel Bible there. And like any nonfiction book. So I have a whole bunch of like books about the Bible and like also relationship goals, life-changing magic of tidying up, minimalism books. So any nonfiction book is on the top shelf. And then here starts my cookbooks. This is a little wonky because that one cookbook is huge and then that other little cookbook is tiny. But this is like the bulk of my cookbooks. And then down here are like my school cookbooks. And then here are literally like my school reference materials because I went to culinary school. So now I'm going to do the other side and yeah, I gotta take everything down. So in these two little middle shelves here are the books that I want to be on display. Those are my favorites. Those are the ones that I'm reading multiple times. Those are my 5 stars, okay? Mine is, I think, only one book in that stack I have not read, which is Beast of Ruin. The rest of the books I've read, and they are definitely 5 stars. But Beast of Ruin is like a second book in, I think it's just a duology. I don't know. I've only read the first book, but the first book was good. Anyway. So I'm just going to do first and second shelf. I may display one book on the top of my shelf, and that is Serpents in the Wings of Night. But that's because I just have the one book. I'm debating on buying the second book. I feel the second book is not a 5 star. It's definitely like a 3.5, maybe a 4. But the first book is 5 star for sure. I'm going to do top shelf and second shelf. And then the last 2 shelves will be all of these paperbacks that are down here. All of these paperbacks right here will be the last 2 shelves. So I'm going to go ahead and just do the last 2 shelves first because it'll take less brain power because I am not emotionally connected to those books. So these 2 shelves are complete. They look a little strange, but let me explain. So my shelf is kind of deep. And as you can see, I have like 2 rows of books here, like one in the front and one in the back. So what I try to do is take the books in the front are maybe books that I want to highlight, or books that I want to read. And then the ones in the back, so let me move Curvy Girl Summer. The ones in the back I've read before that are on the bottom that you can't see. So 7 Days in June. And then the Game of Thrones, the first book. I put those in the bottom because I'm not going to reach for those. I've read those before. And then everything you can see in the back, not everything, but most of it I have not read. So all of these books on this back row, except for Honey Spice and Excuse Me While I'm Ugly Cry. And then that first Jasmine Gullery book. Actually, I might switch that. Okay, so I switched that book in the back with, that is The Accidental Pinup. I have not read that. So most of the books in the back that I can see visibly,
I have not read yet, and so they're still in the forefront of my mind. And the ones in the front are ones that I love. I want to highlight. For example, I just read Curly Girl Summer this month, and I already want to read it again. That book, I really think is 5-star. I constantly think about the main characters, Aaliyah and Ahmad. Constantly think about them and their relationship and their banter, and that book was so good. Anyway, so that is going to stay in the front. I could potentially like turn this here, put this here, and then highlight like Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan as well. I feel like depending on my vibe, how I'm feeling is what I would do there, but that is also a good book, 5-star. So either ones can be highlighted, I feel like. But I'm going to highlight her because she's gorgeous. And then on the bottom here, I kind of did the same vibe, except for I don't have as many books. Oh, this is a receipt. I don't have as many books down here. So really, I can just put this like right there, literally. And I think I've read 2 books that are on 3 books here on the bottom. But the rest of them I have not read, and they are all hardback. And then I still kind of did the color gradient situation. So, but I like this to the front. I feel like that just like looks better like that because it shows off the book. I know it blocks the books behind it, but I feel like it's not as a big of a deal as like up here where it completely blocks the book versus down here. So anyway, these 2 are done. So now I'm going to do these top 2 shelves that have my favorite books on them. I'm happy that I went through this set because there's 2 books here that I absolutely love, and I have already reread multiple times that I don't have in hardback, and I am a girly that prefers hardback. So Twilight, I don't like the fact that I have Kristen Stewart and Robert Pattinson on the front. I'd rather have just the regular Twilight cover, but when I got this book, I did not know it was going to be the love that it had been for me. So I want to get the others in hardback because I have the others in hardback, so I want to get this one in hardback. And then this book as well, Sabriel. Love this book. Matter of fact, I may reread this book right now. Holding it in my hand just makes me want to reread it. But I have the second book in hardback, and so I want to get this one in hardback to match it. But either way, so I'm going to adjust these 2 shelves here, and then I'll be complete. I have this whole stack here that I have to fix. These are like, this is tragic, but these are my nonfiction books that I did not put on this shelf. So I need to put them on this side really quickly, and then I can adjust this. Up on all of my journals, and then I have a couple books that like don't belong to me that like people let me borrow, and I need to return them. So yeah, gotta do that. This is basically the completed look. I'm feeling really good about it. I just need to put my journals in a spot. Like I have an abundance of journals. I didn't realize how many journals I have, but it makes sense because I'm a stationery and journal type of gal for sure. I love journaling and like writing in planners and having different pens and stickers and all that jazz to write in the journals. So yeah, I need to put those away. And then I also have like some of my children's books in here that I need to put. They have like a little section in their room, or my daughter's room, that has books. So I need to put those in there, and then that's it. So I'm feeling really good about it. There's like a separate section as well for like the library books that I have to return, and that will keep my library books together and keep them like to the forefront of my mind. Like when I'm picking up a new book, it's like, oh, you have a library book that you need to read, so maybe pick that book up first.
But yeah, I feel really good about it. Love it. This is my little collection. My top shelf is actually pulled forward. I actually don't have any books behind there, so that is great because like if I potentially find a new series that I love or want to buy some more books, like I have room to grow. But as a minimalist, like I just don't want it to get out of hand, and that is what we have going on here. So now that I feel really good about this section, I can yeah, continue on with decluttering my rooms. Oh, I did want to talk about the books that I'm going to read for August. Honestly, I don't know, other than like I want to, for example, get to the rest of my library books that I have. So I have 1, 2, 3. I have 3 library books that I haven't read yet, out of I think a total of like 6 books. So I want to get to those before August, if not in August. And then I also want to get to my rereading. So I've been wanting to reread Sabriel. I've been wanting to reread Hunger Games, and then literally just touching the Twilight books. I want to reread Twilight as well. That month, like the month of August, may be a reread / get your library books read type of month. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, me showing you my bookshelf and organizing it and putting it together. And I hope it gave you some ideas on what you could do with your bookshelf, especially if you have like a smaller bookshelf at home, not a lot of books, but you can still like display your favorites and keep your books that you need to read to the forefront. Thanks for watching this video, guys. If you want to see more bookish videos, I have a playlist on my channel called Book Love, where I talk about books, share my reviews, share my TBRs, as well as my reading wrap-ups. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so by hitting the face down below. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!